Hello all my friends, and I'm so glad to see you again. And I'm very glad that you decided to come back because today we are going back to Savannah, Georgia. Greatly enjoyed our road trip a little ways up north and to see all the wonderful sights this city has to offer. Today we're going to be focusing on two main aspects. One's going to be checking out some of the locations where they filmed as of now, the most recent Halloween film, Halloween Ends. Maybe not everybody's favorite entry in the Halloween franchise, but still interesting and cool to see some of the locations where they actually filmed it. So we'll do that and do like a little sort of a little side-by-side comparison with some of the actual scenes from the movie along with the sights that we see. We're also going to visit the famous Bonaventure cemetery with so many amazing memorials to those who passed and some interesting folklore and stories behind the cemetery as well. So we're going to check that out. And a couple of other smaller stops. One is going to be a very fascinating piece of folk art that we found in a back alley. And it's a very sensitive subject matter, so I'll put up a disclaimer, and when you see it approaching, if you don't wish to see any sort of depictions of slavery, that's what it deals with. If you don't wish to see that, skip ahead, but it's still interesting because one man created the sculpture and the art himself and just put it on his property to educate the community about what his people had to endure. So we want to represent his voice and show his artistic skills and the storytelling that he has to do as well. The last thing we're going to do too is we're going to check out a hotel lobby that probably the coolest hotel lobby I've ever seen, and you'll see what I mean because it's like a mini museum with fossils and gemstones and all sorts of cool stuff. But without further ado, let's head back to Savannah and we'll see what sights we have to see in this beautiful historic city. Good morning from Thunderbird Inn. Look at the free donuts in the morning here. Look at these beauties.
That looks like a chocolate stuffed eclair or something like that.
Heck yeah, I like this little guy. Donut almond donut.
Isn't it cute?
Sorry if my voice sounds kind of raspy. I did just wake up and it was a long night, but a good night. We'll start our day with these beauties. So with the usual complimentary stuff from the hotels, coffee, juice, etc. But the donuts are the star of the show. Bit of a sun glare here, so it's hard to see, but behold my shirt. You can almost certainly make out the main man himself, Michael, even if Michael unfortunately wasn't a huge involvement with what we're doing right now. But we're checking out a couple of quick locations here with the Halloween Ends filming locations in Savannah. First up being the radio station WURG, where Corey Cunningham, that glory hog, stole some pretty cool potential kills for Michael. Now I'm filming this from inside the car right now because they're actually, luck would have it, apparently doing some construction work on the building, and I don't want to get in their way or you know, potentially be filming where I shouldn't be. So I might stand across the street or on the outside of it, not get too close up to the building, but I still want to show you the exterior of it. So let's go check it out. We're coming up on it right now at Paulson Street, the corner of Paulson and Anderson. Let's take a closer look at it. All right, so if you did see Halloween Ends, this should look very familiar. This was the WURG radio station where DJ Willie the Kid, played by actor Kuran Harris, was killed and took one of the my favorite kills from the movie. You might remember the tongue on the turntable, which of course I won't be able to show here because it's pretty graphic. And also a late birthday shout out to Darcy, the mail girl from Joe Bob's Last Drive-In, because she unfortunately had her kill scene cut from the scene, but she still had a cameo during that as well. So Darcy, happy late birthday, and we wish we could have seen you be killed on screen outside of the Last Drive-In. But this was the radio station right here. I'll try to get like a clip or a still shot up here so you can kind of compare the exterior of this to this old laundry building that's currently under renovations. Our next location in New Haddonfield. The residents are actually out and about doing some work on the home right now, so we're going to be quiet. We're not going to disturb them. And also it's been repainted too, so it might not look too familiar. Well, it looks the same, just a different color. But let's take a look. Here it is. This beautiful pale blue building right here in the center of the frame. This is the house on Duffy Street, which is also known as the new home for Laurie Strode in Halloween Ends. Specifically Halloween Ends, not any of the original 1970s John Carpenter film, but the more recent one. And as you can see, it's definitely a different color. It was more of kind of like a pale rose type color in the film, so it looks a little different now. As I mentioned, If you look over there to the right, where the wraparound porch is, past there, there's some residents out there, out and about in their garage. And I'm not going to disturb anybody since this is a private residence. So if you decide to come visit it as well, do what I'm doing and be very quietly spoken. Don't disturb any neighbors, and just observe quietly and respectfully. Very beautiful. Seems a random appropriate site for scouting out the Halloween filming locations. Interesting.
Summerween.
Right. So there's quite a few filming locations in Savannah, but this is gonna be the last one that we do for now because we have some other sites to see. This is the one-stop shop, aka the scene where Corey was bullied by the band kids. So those kids got their just desserts in the junkyard, but for now we're just gonna check out this site right here, and I will throw up a screen comparison so you can kind of compare the site from the movie as well. And the bathroom is not public use, unfortunately, which sucks because I really had to go to. I thought I could knock out 2 birds with 1 stone here. Maybe grab like a snack or something and use the bathroom, but they said no. That's okay. Filming locations, yay! So right down this back alley, if you didn't know to look, you might not find it here, but this is the art of Mr. Jimmy Kimball, aka Double Dutch. Mr. Double Dutch Kimball, there's his name right there, built this monument. I apologize for some sensitive subject matter, but it's very needed to be known. The Black Holocaust Memorial, designed to educate the children and the local residents of the area and anywhere in the world who come to visit about the horrors that the African American people endured in slavery. Here's actually a certificate Mr. Kimball received for his artwork. Beautiful pieces, very sobering content matter, but again, it's something that definitely needed to be known. Some more beautiful pieces here. And you know what? I think we might be able to go through here. Let's take a peek. Maybe not, actually.
I think you can go here, right?
We're gonna take just a quick look through here because it's taped up right now. And his personal vehicle's back there, so I don't want to venture too far. Kind of see in the back corner there, we even have a few cartoon characters. It looks like Nemo and Gumby of all things back there, which is interesting. What's that? Yeah, there's someone back there. I can't tell who that yellow character is supposed to be. It's interesting. Yeah, again, it looks like there might be more to this, but with the area taped up and his personal truck back there, we're not gonna go through the tent and look at the stuff in the back. I'm sure it'd be open if it was available currently, but that's what we have so far. Yeah, exactly. I say thank you to Mr. Double Dutch Kimball for presenting his artwork to the public and for the community to kind of see, you know, something that's an unfortunate part of history, but I suppose shouldn't be forgotten. Be remembered for those who suffered and honor the memory and the plight of what they had to endure. Something unplanned just passing by, happened to come across it. Focus a bit, there we go, look at these guys. This is the headquarters and where they apparently retire for the evening for one of the many, many, many Savannah ghost tours.
Many.
But these are the ones that are actually in the hearses themselves, which is pretty cool. This is during the daytime when the hearses slumber. This is where they go to retire. And then come nightfall, this gate will open up and a whole fleet of them will embark out into the streets and ferry the tourists around for all the ghostly sights and delights. Everything is indeed awesome.
Everything is awesome.
That's very cute. Hey guys, I want you all to be careful up there, okay? No crawling over. Yeah, listen to me. Alright guys, be careful. Don't fall off. How you doing up there, buddy? Now, don't you go crawling on any walls here, okay? I trust you not to. Damn it. Knew they wouldn't listen to me. Alright guys, just be careful. Welcome to the historic Bonaventure Cemetery out here in Savannah. Massive, massive grounds. Not necessarily looking for anybody specific. I know there's a couple notable headstones which we'll try to track down, but it's a very large place. I'm gonna stop talking for a second so you guys can just kind of appreciate the bird song in the background after this truck drives by. Hold on. Okay. Just listen to all the nature sounds in the background. Beautiful. Here you go, the gorgeous Wilmington River.
Oh, dolphin. Oh my gosh.
Picture of the dolphin?
Yeah.
That's, I see a bird.
No, wait. It'll
Yeah.
probably breach again, but I saw its dorsal fin.
Okay. Oh yeah, good eyes. Good eyes. I wouldn't have seen him. He was waiting there for us to show up.
Hi, dolphin.
There he goes. Yeah, look at that.
Dolphin.
That's a dolphin?
Yeah,
Good eyes.
dolphin. Yeah, watch.
See the ripples right in the center there. See if he comes up again.
I'm sure it will. Come on, little dolphin.
That'll call him up, yeah. Very cool. Good eyes though. As do I, my friends. Hello, Alti. We'll be seeing you a little bit later. This is not Alti's river, the Wilmington, but he's not too far. That's cool. Very beautiful historic cemetery. It is actually very high traffic though. It's so large that they had to include a lot of driving paths throughout as well. So not the most peaceful grounds that I've encountered. But that's by necessity because it's just too large to traverse by foot, especially during this weather. But all the better if it makes it easier for people to come pay their respects towards the back of those grounds. Now the cemetery itself actually does have a bit of notoriety for being a part of the novel and film in the Garden of Good, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, excuse me. And if you've actually seen the cover of the book, probably the most publicized cover, there used to be a statue here called the Bird Girl that was actually photographed and used for that cover. Said statue is no longer in this cemetery. It was removed and relocated to the Telfair Museums in the heart of downtown Savannah, which we did not have an opportunity to see, but remains at this cemetery grounds is a part of literature and film history. They actually have golf cart tours here because the grounds are so large that a walking tour probably wouldn't be feasible.
I think that's the statue over there.
Exactly, yeah. The monument we're looking for right now is the most popular one in the cemetery. You can already see folks gathered around it. Probably, if I had to hazard a guess, not relatives, because a lot of strangers come to visit her just to pay respects. And I can see her poking up beyond that fence. Let's get a closer look. Now, another notable claim to fame for this cemetery is it was a location where naturalist and author John Muir actually camped and spent about a week amongst the graves. Actually, with John Muir, I am a fan of his because he was very much an advocate for preservation of the wilderness and the national parks. And fun side fact, I actually went to a school named after him back in Lodi, California, John Muir School, John Muir Elementary, which is kind of fun. But yeah, he did write a bit of a poem. Part of his writings actually was camping amongst the tombstones, which would be very interesting. I don't know the logistics of actually being able to spend a whole week within the cemetery grounds, but maybe back in the day when he did so, things were going to be a little less strict regarding security and things regarding those. It's going to be hard to read from the shadows on here, but this is little Gracie Watson. We had a heck of a time reaching her resting place here because there are so many tours stopping by to say hi to her, and she was not famous in life. She was only a 6-year-old child, and she did pass away from pneumonia at that age, unfortunately. But she is the most popular grave here because it is a beautiful monument to apparently what is known as a precocious, friendly, and lovely little girl. I love Miss Gracie.
She looks like Heather O'Rourke a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, which is pretty crazy. Interesting. But now the statue you see here wasn't actually there originally when she was buried. She just had a regular placard. But her father did commission the statue from a sculptor named John Walls. I believe his first name was John. I might be wrong about that. The last name was Walls, though, and part of the cemetery is named after that gentleman who built this lovely sculpture. And as you can see, do like to come by and leave little trinkets for her, little toys, and money apparently.
And Easter eggs, since she died before Easter.
That's right. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. I did forget to mention that she did pass away in Easter as well. And yeah, I guess this fence right here is to protect the grave because it is very famous and does bring a lot of foot traffic and a lot of tour groups as well. But Miss Gracie, little gal, we do hope you're resting in peace, and thank you for allowing us to come visit you. Rest well, little one. Get some footage here because you can hear more bird songs. There are so many little birds, little sparrows, and cardinals floating everywhere through here. This is such a beautiful cemetery. I'm gonna be heading on my way out. I just wanted to kind of get a glimpse of these gorgeous grounds so y'all can kind of revel in the majesty of the gorgeous Bonaventure Cemetery. So beautiful. One other sculpture and monument I wanted to bring to mind was Miss Corinne Lawton, who passed away when she was 19 years old. There are some legends surrounding her demise, indicating that her family disapproved of the man that she loved, and so she unalived herself as a result of her grief. The rumors being that the statue of Christ in the background, looking somewhat towards her direction with her back towards him, is her rejecting her family's belief, faith, and everything else that they believe in. That is not true from what I have heard, and of course I do choose to believe most of the historical records indicate Miss Lawton did simply pass away of an illness, and she was well beloved with her family who commissioned this gorgeous monument. It's interesting too is that some of her fingers have broken off, probably due to age. But it's just more urban legends and folklore that can spread around gorgeous and notable monuments such as this. But Miss Lawton, I do wish you all the peace in your eternal slumber, and thank you for letting us visit your resting place. One more shot of the gorgeous Wilmington River before we depart. And a grand gratitude to all the dearly departed of Bonaventure Cemetery for letting us visit. May you all rest in the very best of peace, solitude, and everlasting solemnity. Bonaventure is called a graveyard, a town of the dead, but the few graves are powerless in such a death of life. The rippling of living waters, the song of birds, the joyous confidence of flowers, the calm, undisturbable grandeur of the oaks mark this place of graves as one of the Lord's most favorite abodes of life and light. Let children walk with nature. Let them see the beautiful blendings and communions of death and life, their joyous, inseparable unity as taught in woods and meadows, plains and mountains, in streams of our blessed star. And they will learn that death is stingless indeed and as beautiful as life, and that the grave has no victory, for it never fights. My friends, welcome to Agatha's Coffee and Tea. The reason why we're doing this as a voiceover is because, as you might be able to see from this footage I have, the ambience of this beautiful little tea shop tucked away in an alley is very quiet and serene, and I didn't want to disturb the other patrons. They do have a beautiful ambiance with like a thunderstorm motif in the background, so you can sit and drink your coffee and tea and enjoy this beautiful surroundings. As you can see, it's very much themed to Agatha Christie and some of her famous mystery novels as well. And it just has a beautiful ambiance and decor all together. And again, I didn't want to necessarily disturb the other patrons by talking out loud when it has such a quiet and introspective ambiance and feel about it. So just enjoy these quick little shots of the interior, and if you're ever in the Savannah area, feel free to stop by Agatha's Tea and Coffee and show them a little bit of patronage. Beautiful place, good food, and good folks. Check it out. Another gorgeous view of the river with the George Queen's boat over there. But what we have here is something very beautiful as well. This giant globe split in half. It is the World War II memorial. There's a Purple Heart. These I assume are the names of all lost in World War II, probably Georgians who passed during the war, I believe. Oh, here we go. Veterans of Chatham County, so not Georgia specifically, but anybody from the county that Savannah's located in.
Look at this little tugboat. There's the Steamboat Willie tugboat I told you about yesterday.
And it's a beautiful monument. It goes to part. And yeah, we have this little guy making its way down the river as well. Very cool. Beautiful scenery. It's a Talmadge Bridge. We got some shots of it already, but can't resist getting a little more footage because it's so beautiful. So we're gonna head this way next. These are all pretty interesting, gorgeous geos. Now this is inside the JW Marriott Plant Riverside District. Specifically, there are several JW Marriott buildings in this district, but the one you want is the Plant Riverside one. Take you to these beautiful museum where the artifacts of these gorgeous gems and geodes. Right out in the lobby, anybody can just walk in and see them. There's more ahead. Let's go see what there is. Alright, this little dead-end section over here. We got these beautiful ammonite. Mammoth tusks. But here's the main event. This big guy right here. Look at him. This is a cave bear skeleton from the Ice Age. Look at that beauty. Big boy. Information right here. A real skeleton, so it is not a representation or reconstruction. Very, very cool. Ursus Spelios. Look at the size. And again, more fossils here. Right here. In the hotel lobby. We're gonna get a closer look at this gem right up here at the top. But we're also below a couple of flyers too, with pterodactyl or quetzalcoatl, something like that. Look at that. The size of this. Gorgeous quartz of crystals. It's enormous. Citrine, amethyst, and another amethyst. Here we go. So the citrine is this big amber colored one right here that we're looking at. And of course the amethysts are the purple ones. Very pretty. And there is the model sauropod skeleton, chrome dipped. Her name is Miss Chromina Jewel. And she is a beauty right here at the JW Marriott. Look at that. Gorgeous. And again, just walking off the street, off of River Street, no charge to come in and view these beautiful pieces.
And over 22 feet tall to this. If you stood one elephant on top of another, you would get up to where this animal's backbone would be. You would have to stretch 6 of them in a row to match this dinosaur's length. Its tail is 80 feet, the neck is 39 feet, and in life, its head could live at least 10 feet higher than the back of its body.
Look at that.
Amphicoelus is one of the long sauropods rather than one of the tall sauropods. The animal you have seen maybe in Jurassic Park, the Brachiosaurus, had about the same length of the neck, but the Brachiosaurus, because it had taller front legs, could reach much higher for vegetation and trees.
This is pretty too with this old decommissioned factory here. Reserve your smokestack experience reservation for a small intimate dining experience of up to 12 people. The reason I'm bringing it up is because if you look through here, this is very, very interesting. Kind of glanced there, I'm not going to go inside, but this is the interior of the old decommissioned smokestack for the factory. And look, only 3 tables, so only 12 people inside for a super intimate dining experience. And here's the old door as well. It's really cool. Basically repurposing a historic piece of architecture for an upscale dining experience, which is an interesting concept to say the least. And right outside is the river. Nice view too. Now the last thing we're going to currently look at is this beautiful stegosaur skeleton. Don't know if that's authentic or not. Looks a little too well preserved to me, but it's still interesting. Look. It's still right out here in the lobby of the JW Marriott Plant Riverside. There's even a little lower section there with some more gems and geodes and crystals. I'm not going to head down there today, but it's still interesting to see. There's the cave bear, and there's the giant chrome sauropod. Very interesting for a hotel lobby. This will be about heading out of Savannah, most likely on our way out to take a quick glimpse at the Georgia Queen in all her majesty and glory, traversing the river. Savannah, thank you very much for your hospitality. And thank you, as always, for sticking around and for checking out everything that we have to see in the beautiful city of Savannah. Now, that's going to mainly do it for the 2 videos that I had planned out, with just kind of a catch-all of different sites that we saw around the cities. That doesn't mean that we're done with Savannah, though, as altogether, or Georgia, more like, because we still have some other videos coming up that warranted their own entry, including the fascinating and unsettling Grave Face Museum, which we'll check that out, as well as not necessarily Savannah, but a city nearby Savannah as well called Darien, which plays host to its own river monster named Alti, who you might have seen a little cameo from in this prior video. But we'll explore him on his own terms as well a little ahead. So keep coming back to the video, tell your friends, check it out, and just keep showing all the support that you've shown for me so far, which I greatly appreciate, because I love showing you all that we have to show out here in this big wide world. And I'm glad that we got to branch a little beyond Florida for this one. So more to come up ahead, and we'll see you around that time. Take care, everybody. Bye, guys.